it to you. What's up, guys? Welcome. Why am I yelling at you? I'm so sorry. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Hope that you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. We're gonna dip our toes back into the deep, deep waters of Jethro Tull. We're gonna begin our album listen of Jethro Tull's Minstrel in the Gallery, released in 1975. This is their 8th studio album. This is one that has been commented on by you guys for so many, honestly, years at this point. So we are finally going to go ahead and listen to it. We've listened to a lot of other classics, and so I'm excited to get into this one, as this one seems to be held in very, very high regard. It's been a while since we've listened to Jethro Tull, and I've missed them. You know, like, there's bands that, yeah, I may cover a lot of here on the channel, but I cover a lot of it because I enjoy it. You know, you naturally want to hear more things that you like, and I'm excited to get back into it. We last listened to Jethro Tull with A Passion Play, which, can I tell you, I would like to throw a controversial opinion out there now that I've listened to A Passion Play quite a number of times at this point. If I'm comparing the two epics from Jethro Tull, I think A Passion Play, for myself, my opinion, I like it a lot better than Thick as a Brick. That's all I'm going to say. I don't even need to expand upon it. I love it. I love that album. Let us journey into the gallery with the Minstrel. Let's listen to the title track here. Hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you're having a lovely one. Let's go. Jethro Tull.
My lord and lady, we have fortuitously happened upon these strolling players who will provide you with their good tunes whilst you set about your...
Yeah, it's probably better here. I can't see you down there, alright? I don't think they're gonna like this
my
much.
lord and lady, for your entertainment.
The minstrel in the gallery looked down upon the smiling faces. He met the gazes, observed the spaces between the old men's cackle. He brewed a song of love and hatred, oblique suggestions, and he waited. He polarized the pumpkin eaters, static humming panel beaters. Freshly they glowed, factory cheaters, salaried and collar scrubbing. He titillated men of action, belly warming and still rubbing on the parts they never mentioned. He pacified the nappy suffering, infants bleating, one-line jokers, TV documentary makers, overfed and undertakers, Sunday paper backgammon players, family scars and women haters. And he called the band down to the stage, and he looked at all the friends he made.
amazing one-line jokers, TV documents and makers, overfed and undertakers, Sunday paper, backgammon players, and this kind of women haters. And then he called the band down to the stage, and he looked at all the friends he made. The minstrel in the gallery, I looked down on the rabbit run. Then he threw away his looking glass and saw his face in everyone. Hey! The minstrel in the gallery, yeah, yeah. Look down upon the smiling faces. Man gazes, yeah. The minstrel in the gallery.
I'm ready for the rest of this already. I love the intro to this.
It's called
Oh,
Cold
sorry
Wind.
about that. Yeah, that's what I love. I love that part. The guy's introducing this troupe that he just randomly found. He's like, yeah, these guys, they're on the streets and they wanted to play some music, so I brought them in to entertain the king and queen. And there's like 2 claps. And they start off really softly, right? Like you can imagine these minstrels there in the gallery, in the court, and they're like starting to play their song, and the song begins really like softly and acoustically, and it begins like, you know, nice and pastel, right? And then it's not too long before we get into the meat of the track, and everything turns up the edge a lot. I really, really like Barlow, his drumming, this kick work, the rolls that happened in the not in the break, but in the second half of the track. The rolls alongside with Barlow's just edgy guitar work, which is probably the edgiest, well, some of the edgiest guitar work I've heard at this point from Jethro Tull. I mean, they have a lot of good guitar work, but here, Bar is just, he's doing something a little different here. And he really gets down into his rock and roll, like, portion, right? Like, this is Jethro Tull getting even closer to, like, a kind of rock and roll side. And obviously, they have been rocking and rolling from before, but this feels a little bit more typical, perhaps, of rock and roll of this era. Like, I think that's really cool, though, because you still get it with Jethro Tull's flavor. Ian sounds great. Nice inclusion of the flute throughout. The organ from Jeffrey, I think, is always especially interesting, and it sounds really nice and thick on the back end of all of the riffing going on. This song kind of has it all. It's very dynamic, very progressive. I really like the middle section, though. Let me see if I can find those riffs real quick, because I love that. Jeffrey comes in on the organ there. It's just a really nice section. It's crunchy, it feels good, and yet it still feels light, especially as the flute comes in on top of it all. It's literally like sprinkles on top of your ice cream. Like, this is straight rock and roll, right? Oh yeah. I just love that groove that Barlow's setting up back here. Setting up the pins for them to knock it down with whatever they choose, whether that's a flute from Ian, guitar from Bar, it's all hitting. Coming with a heavy entrance. That's a heavy-handed entrance. That's like a heavy whoppa. And the intro here, as soft-spoken and softly played as it is, this actually reminds me a little bit of Thick as a Brick, at least the intro to that. But the guitar playing is as immaculate as it's ever been, and yet it's as heavy as it ever was. Everything here feels classic Jethro Tull, but perhaps just turned up a little bit. That entrance is a signal. That's a dirty loop to bring in, huh? Oh, I love the rolls from Barlow. His drumming is so perfect for like folk rock, and whether it's the folk side of rock or the rock side of folk or something in between, his drumming is just so perfect for this because he can play down and easy, or he can bring it up like so crazy. I think that Barlow is a little bit underrated when it comes to drumming and percussion, but what do I know? Let's talk about the lyrics on this one, which, like I said, begins with the minstrels being introduced to the court. And then the lyrics continue on. The minstrel in the gallery looked down upon the smiling faces. He met the gazes, observed the spaces between the old men's cackle. So you can imagine the performer there on stage looking down, kind of observing the audience before they get into their song. He brewed a song of love and hatred, oblique suggestions, and he waited. He polarized the pumpkin eaters, static humming panel beaters, fresh day glowed factory cheaters, salaried and collar scrubbing. He titillated men of action, belly warming, hand stole rubbing on the parts they never mention. He pacified the nappy suffering, infant bleeding, one-line jokers, TV documentary makers, overfed. I think I've done that before. Overfed and undertakers. Through his song, he is just changing perspectives, changing lives. He's pacifying people. He's making some people uproar. He's changing like opinions on things, and his music's hitting everybody. I mean, he describes so many different types of people here, and his song is hitting all of them. So it must be pretty good. Sunday paper backgammon players, family scarred, and women haters. Then he called the band down to the stage, and he looked at all the friends he'd made. And then the lyrics just repeat from there, pretty much. Actually, not pretty much. It does. So I really like that. Through his song, he's affected so many people. And I think through Jethro Tull's song and music, I can say that they've affected myself. I can speak for at least some of you guys that they've affected you. So I think they're, in a way, speaking about themselves, you know? But let me know what you guys thought of this track. This is a great introduction into the album. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Hope that you enjoyed your time here with myself. You can follow me in a bunch of places. You can support the channel on Patreon. You can blah, blah, blah. But I hope that you ha, 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 and enjoy yourself. What kind of outro was that, huh? What? You can blah, 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 but I hope you ha, ha, ha. What am I thinking? Have a great one, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.